Muggy in this room.
It's muggy everywhere
when
right
it's
now.
usually like 35 in this room.
I don't think there's a non-muggy place in Nebraska right now.
There's not. Good morning, pre-gamers. Man, got myself. Good morning, Sarah.
Need to find any song requests for the opening song today.
No, throw some out. Anybody got one? Elijah's on the mic.
We'll see what Will's got in his folder.
The ones and twos.
So he's been growing this.
Good morning, Shane. Good morning, Ryan 840. Show posted. Lots of fun today.
There's a good one.
There's a good one.
There's
a good one. Morning, Greg.
Well, how's it start?
There's a good one. You guys are out to a great. When's Hump Day? I've lost a day of my life getting home on a Monday.
Well, I'm not sure what he was thinking with this. It's got a great intro. You'll hear it here in a second.
Can't wait.
And he cut the intro completely off.
What?
Yeah. Like just like a little mini intro, there's iconic.
There's a method to his madness, and I'm not sure where the madness is.
I'm sure the method is either.
I wonder if he's awake. I'm going to text him real quick.
Bet he is.
I just want to check.
There's no time change to Minnesota. No, it's still Central Time. I was gonna say if it was 8:59 wherever he is, then maybe, but that wouldn't make any sense.
We might have to call him. Like a vacay update from Will Wilson.
Well, on that note, we are going mics off here.
Oh gosh, it's time. Look at that.
Yeah.
This is the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
Good morning, Lincoln, Nebraska. Happy Hump Day. Welcome into Morning Hookup. Bill Hook, Elijah Herbal, coming back at you, middle of the week. Good morning, everyone. I love that.
Great song. But I got beef with Will.
Should we call him?
Maybe we should, because he cut off.
He's awake.
He cut off the beginning where California.
He texted
love. Like, how are you going to cut that off?
Let's dial him up. We'll dial him up. He said, living it up, bro. Have been an awesome time. He's living up vacation.
Let's do it. Okay.
Yeah, call him.
Give me a second. I need to go. I don't have his number off the top of my head.
I don't either. Mine just hit the button. But welcome in. A lot of fun today. Here in about 15, 20 minutes, Henry T. Buchanan will join the show. We'll talk some hoops with him and hang out. We're also going to talk the dog days of summer. They're here. Look at baseball standings, stories in baseball. Talk about your favorite teams. Football is in a dead period right now. So we'll have a lot of fun. Also, we're going to talk college baseball too. Bring up the fact that what people say, we're learning more and more. When people say things in front of media, they don't really mean it. We got him? Yeah, flip him over. Bring him on. Will Wilson, what's up, brother?
Is that Bill Hook?
We just want to say good morning. I hope you had a great vacation.
I'll tell you what, it's been good so far. It's been really good so far, although the only bad thing is I can't hear anything out of my left ear. I think I got this ear infection thing going on.
Oh, Will, what? Go get some drops. I'm guessing there's no Walgreens close to you.
No, there's one into town, but I'd have to drive into town, which, that's pretty boring. But how are you guys?
I'm good. I just missed you, so I'm like, we got to call.
Yeah, and
I missed you because when I was gone, you were here. Now I'm back, and just missed you.
Well, I missed you too.
I also had a little beef I wanted to bring up with you because I did use your California Love intro from your folder today, and you for some reason cut the beginning off of California Love, where it's all like California Love, which is that's like one of the best parts of the song, and you cut it off.
Well, you're obviously forgetting the code of producers, where you don't question another producer's methods. So thanks for that. But you got to remember, we only got 10 seconds. Bill, remind Bill that he only has 10 seconds.
did.
They got to shorten things up, you know?
I did. I do it.
You did a great job today. You should have seen it.
You should have seen it. Like he just, I'm trying my best, Will.
Thanks, Bill.
It's just that you make me better.
Thank you. I try.
All right, we'll let you go.
try.
We just wanted to say hi and hope you're having a great vacation. It's hot back here. I hope it's not as hot there.
Well, no, it's actually, it rained last night, and we didn't know it was going to rain, and my clubs got absolutely soaked. So I'm in the process of drying those out. Today we have the big family scramble tournament. So wish us luck because we're trying to bring it home. I played yesterday, Bill, and it did not go very well at all. I made the mistake of hitting my cousin's THC pen, and it made me ungodly high, and it did not help on the golf course. We'll put it that way. So I'm not going to be doing any of that today.
Yeah, don't do that. I mean, there's a way to warm up. That's probably not it. Well, I would stick to the mixers.
Is that legal up there?
I don't know.
We got to go.
Probably not.
Well, what's the team shooting today?
Yeah. What's the score?
I think 7 or 8 under is going to be a really good score in the clubhouse. So we're going to try and get to 10. Ooh. Yeah, we're going to try and get to 10.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Win
All
this
right.
thing, okay? You come home a winner, Will.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try. It's good hearing you both.
All right, brother. Be good. We'll see you when you get back.
All right. Sounds good. See you guys.
Hey, brother. All right, there's Will Wilson.
I know his family is
Vacation.
not like mine, because if I had a family golf scramble, which we don't do, but if I did, like 15 over would probably be a good scramble score for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. He needs to go 10 under.
10 under. No big deal. Well, Will's good.
No chance he gets there, though.
Will's good.
I've golfed with him.
I don't know about the rest of his family. I don't know about the rest of them, but I know he is.
I'm pretty sure they're all golfers.
He can hit it. I know. His mom's probably the best one.
Mm-hmm.
Mama Wilson's the best one.
Well, I don't know. 10 under is that's a tall
big
task.
one.
I think I would bet against that, but we'll see.
Ryan 840, the pin. He's like, is that legal? I don't know. No, gotta go. Not telling where he's at, okay? I'm not going to tell you where he's at in Minnesota. We'll leave that alone. Again, like I said, we're going to have Henry T. Buchanan coming up here shortly, about 15 minutes. We'll talk to T about just hoops in general, what's going on in Huskerland and the NBA.
Big blockbuster trade last night.
Yes.
Mikal Bridges to the Knicks.
Yes.
They're reuniting the Villanova crew for just a haul of first-round picks. I'm really curious to get Henry's take on that.
Yeah, that. And I'm going to talk about, when we talk to T about these max contracts. And if some of these are like, these players getting these max contracts, it's ones you're like, well, wait a minute. He got a max contract? Mm-hmm. And then a little JJ Redick talk too, because his intro press conference was pretty amazing.
It was
electric. We'll talk to you about that. And then, like I said, we're going to talk the dog days of summer in baseball. Maybe your favorite team, where who's having stellar seasons. Look at the standings right now and see where they're at. That's what we have in life right now is Major League Baseball. Okay, in the Salt Dogs here locally.
Oh, did you listen to our show yesterday afternoon on Hail Varsity Radio? We get to discuss, is it time to change the tunnel walk song?
Oh, gosh.
Is it time to sell alcohol Memorial Stadium?
Isn't this the toughest part for us?
It is.
Is trying to figure out what's the next topic.
A peek behind the curtain.
I heard you guys talk about like the tunnel walk song. You're like, oh, we are grabbing at straws at this point.
Late June up until Big Ten Media Days is the rough days for your friends in radio.
Yeah.
We'll be all right.
Help us out. If you got topics you want us to get into, like, throw them at us.
I mean, we tend to get into some fun ones, but like there is definitely that thought, like the night before every single show, we're like, what are we going to talk about tomorrow? Hopefully some news breaks.
Yeah. Like, hopefully, come on, please.
You always land on your feet. But
you do.
Man.
You do. Well, and speaking of that, let's talk about one of those topics that just kind of landed on it. This whole Texas A&M College World Series, they go out, they lose to Tennessee. You have that clip. So their coach, what's his name? Coach
Schlossnagle.
Okay, so he's out there, and boy, he kind of dogged this reporter too, by the way, calling him selfish when he says this.
Coach, with respect to the difficult outcome tonight, but with the rumors circulating today about a specific job opening, what do you have to say about your future in Aggieland?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty selfish of you to ask me that question, to be honest with you. But I left my family to be the coach at Texas A&M. I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again. And that hasn't changed in my mind. And that's unfair to talk about something like that. That'd be like you asking Montgomery if he's going to sign in the draft. But I understand you got to ask the question. but I gave up a big part of my life to come take this job, and I've poured every ounce of my soul in this job, and I've given this job every single ounce I can possibly give it. So write that.
Write that. Like, apparently during that press conference, he already knew.
Oh, because he
He
never
already
denied,
knew.
he never
I
denies
heard
it.
there's a lot of speculation. Now, here's what happened. That goes within 24 hours. He's announced as the new Texas Longhorn baseball coach.
Well, I remember
And
seeing,
staff now gone too.
From a Texas fan account on Twitter, someone had done flight tracking and a private jet had been chartered from Austin to Omaha. And Texas fans like, oh, they're gonna go get Schlossnagle. I remember saying this was the game 3. This is Monday morning. We're being like, oh yeah, sure, okay. That's probably just some A&M fan living in Austin that wants to make it up for the game. Nope. I guess
Wow.
the Austin leadership down at Texas was actually flying up to Omaha.
They
to go
actually
meet
were.
Schlossnagle.
Like you said, a lot of times you see those things, you're like, oh, that's just
Some
a
crazy fan,
coincidence.
yeah.
Some flight trucker guy out there, or girl that doesn't work. But it's real. Talking about a rivalry now set in place.
Oh, and now you have Texas A&M message boards going crazy, talking about the rift that was apparently there between Schlossnagle and Trev Alberts that nobody knew about in the outside
Of
world.
course, that's what's going to happen. Well done, Trev.
But I love listening back to that quote from Schlossnagle and realizing he never denies the claim ever.
No,
he just he had already made his decision, so he just gets
he's sitting there
immediately defensive.
He's sitting there prior to the game. It could be a week prior to the World Series. We don't know. Knowing that this is, we made it. Wait till I drop this bomb when we're done. Trev did come out and say, after our baseball team arrived back in College Station earlier today, Jim informed me of the desire to leave Texas A&M. While we are certainly disappointed, we are grateful for his contribution helping our baseball program reach unprecedented heights. Baseball success is important to everyone associated with A&M, and we will not stop in our pursuit of excellence, and our commitment to baseball will not waver. Do you believe him? That's a big question right now. Obviously, right? It's a big question.
In terms of hiring another coach, yeah, I likely believe that Trev Alberts is going to go and pick a good replacement for Schlossnagle. Because you are Texas A&M, you draw eyes, you're going to have interest from college baseball coaches across America. In the long term, though, do I think Trev is going to be committed to baseball? Much like a lot of athletic departments across the country, I think you're going to have to ask the question in the era of revenue sharing of where do we want to share our revenue?
Yes.
And what pays the bills?
What pays the bills? You'd be looking straight at football.
Yeah.
Because I'm not real convinced.
A football guy.
I'm not real convinced around here that when Trev was here, he was really committed to baseball here.
No.
As from little birdies that I talked to.
The SEC is different.
It is different.
Don't get me wrong. The SEC is different. But I asked the question, 5 years from now, I think Trev probably goes out and makes a somewhat splashy hire for A&M because they can. There's a lot of people that across the country that want to coach in the SEC, especially with a brand like the Aggies.
Yes. And now people are like, why did he do it? Why did he make this decision? What's the connection?
Well, I mean, you could also ask the question, maybe Schlossnagle sees the writing on the wall with the kind of support that Texas A&M baseball is going to get moving forward.
Absolutely.
It's just a reality of college sports that we live in right now with revenue sharing on the horizon that athletic department's gonna have to make some hard decisions about where is the money going to be going and what pays your bills.
Exactly. Now the connection is that he's reuniting with a longtime friend, Texas athletic director Chris Del Conte. So they're reunited because he was the boss back when they were at TCU. So there's a connection piece there. But I agree with you. There's something else there. I mean, it's not normal that you normally see somebody make good runs to teams, go to the College World Series or win a Super Bowl or make it wherever and immediately decide to take off. Definitely interesting in that. But I think a lot of it goes back also, don't make statements. Don't make statements. Like, I know he's in a tough spot when the reporter asked him. Don't come at the reporter knowing that you're the one that's already made the decision to take off.
Knowing you're the a-hole?
Yes.
The reporter's not the a-hole.
Yeah, the reporter's just like he said. And he goes, at the end of it, he goes, you can, what do you say? Write that.
Yeah, write that.
Write what? Right. That you're leaving? Got you. See ya.
Yeah. I'll have this awesome story up on 12 hours about how you just absolutely F-you'd me in the press conference. And now you're leaving. So now I got to F you.
Yeah. Awesome. We got Gary. Is this Gary? Jerry?
Gary. Yeah, Gary.
Jerry. What's up? Where you been?
Yeah. Got some stuff going on.
All right. I hope everything's okay. I thought maybe you're boycotting the morning hookup.
No, No, not at all. Never, ever.
Okay.
So just tell A&M to stay away from Will Bold, okay?
I think we'll be okay.
Something tells me.
Yeah, I just don't. If people from Nebraska want to make a move, just tell them not to take anybody from Nebraska with them.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, I gotta ask you. The very first day of Major League Baseball, the Royals lost. Phil,
They did.
Tell me, how's that going now?
I don't know. I haven't looked. It's not. Look,
They're still in second place.
No, they're third now. Look right, they're in third.
Are they?
That's
now?
okay. Second.
Oh,
Yeah. I think it just happened overnight. Honestly, by the way.
Yeah.
I like to make fun of it, because Will is a fan of the Royals, and every chance I get, and we're talking about it because I always look at CBS and they give you that percentage of chance of making the postseason, and right now it says they have a less than 1% chance.
Oh wow, yeah. I get it. They're still the Royals, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they need a couple more juniors out there. I heard a reporter the other day, and I'll let you go, say the junior needs to go someplace else. And I thought to myself, what kind of a stupid remark is that?
Yeah.
But you know what? He is truly one of the best kids in baseball. That guy, he plays the game because he loves the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Mike Trout. Mike Trout is the same way. Aaron Judge is the same way. It's the old deal where they really have fun playing the game. Anyway, hey, you guys take care. You have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Gary J. You too, my friend.
See you.
Always good for some baseball talk with Gary J. I love it. And
I like how he kept a chip on his shoulder from opening day.
He did. He had. That's the ability of Gary J. I said, well, they lost opening day. That was every year to Will. I always like to have fun with him. Like, it's like the Bob Uecker up in the booth in Major League, right?
Mm-hmm.
Calling the game when Willie Mays Hayes gets on first, thumbs up, still, and they give him the gesture.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when they lost opening day, I'm like, well, season's over. Royals are out.
I was like watching, and we'll probably end with this before we get to tea. I always love walking into the KF4 newsroom on a afternoon day whenever the Royals are playing during the day.
Yeah.
And just see Will forsaking his work locked in on the Royals. I'm like, but it's one baseball game. They're playing the Tigers.
Hey, man, he will talk about it every day they play. Yeah. And I love it. So, all right, let's take our first break. He's in the green room. We'll come back with Husker legend Henry T. Buchanan.
You're listening to the Morning Hookup with Bill Hooks and Will Wilson. More coming up.
What up, T?
What's up, fellas?
Boy, I know I can't say this out loud to you, but it's hot here.
Welcome to my world.
Man.
Hey, actually, it's been humid here. It's monsoon.
What?
Yeah, so it's been a little, 110 with a lot of humidity. So we're paying for it right now, so I can't laugh.
See, the big difference is that you have a pool in your backyard. We don't.
But the pool might be too hot some days to get in.
No, it's not.
Oh my!
Now the hot tub might be a little bit too hot. What's up, Shane?
Nice.
Yeah, now I'm learning to turn on the chat. I never have the chat showing on my screen, so I finally figured it out.
There you go. There you go. Obviously Will's not here. I was gone last week. Now Will's up in Minnesota on vacation.
Oh, nice. Now, what's the connection? Because I know he's a Timberwolves fan. What's the connection with Minnesota, with Will?
I don't know. I know his sister went to college there, correct?
He has some family. Is one side
family
of his family
up there?
Mom's side of the family,
maybe up
Minnesota,
there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean, they're all up there right now. They're all up there. We had Will on this morning. We called him.
Hey, y'all did?
Yep. Yeah. He exposed himself and why he played bad golf yesterday. He said he took a little puff off a pen and it got him.
Is it legal up in Minnesota?
That's what we asked, and he's like, "We don't even know. We didn't even know." We're like, "Well, we better get you out of here."
Well,
is it in Nebraska? Is it legal?
No, gosh, no.
Where y'all getting pins? Excuse my French. Where y'all getting pins at Nebraska in Minnesota?
No, I don't know. He said Look, man.
So, yes, where are we getting pins? I don't know. Ask Will.
You guys missed it last week. Last week, if you saw it or listened, I was listening to the show. I was walking around. We were in Steamboat. And Thursday, Thursdays is Ask Will Anything. So I was walking around. We were kind of shopping around. We had a free day. And I sent in the message. The question I asked Will was, since I'm in Colorado where certain things are legal, how much is the most you've spent in a state where it's legal?
What'd he say?
It's like $200.
Oh, shoot.
He openly, he's like, yeah, sure. I spent $200.
Well, that's like, I mean, if you were to go buy like a nice bottle of whiskey and some beers for a party, like $200 wouldn't be, that'd be a lot actually.
Yeah, it'd be a lot because listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, at the age I am, you don't need to buy a nice one. Just buy a bottle.
Really?
Well, out here you go to the bars and you might have 3 or 4 people. If you buy one round and it's going to cost you over $100, and you're looking crazy. I had a buddy that was here a couple of years ago, and we went out in Old Town, and he's feeling good about himself, and it was only like 3 of us, and we went in this club called International, and actually we ran into the center for I always lose her name, the big center for the Phoenix
Griner.
Yeah, Brittany Griner was in there, and so he said, "Oh man, I get the first round," and he got the first round, just 3 of us. He got his bill back, and it was like $100-something bucks. And he said, and he sipped on that thing for an hour. He said he refused to buy another shot.
What you're supposed to do is like, hey, who's getting the next one?
Well, see,
I'm ready.
I was down in Scottsdale for New Year's, and I woke up on January 1st, and I said, "What happened to this $300 that was in my account? It's just gone."
Oh yeah. Especially down there. I mean, I was down there one time. It was
we're coming back.
Here we go.
Okay.
This is the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
Welcome back in the Morning Hookup. Happy Hump Day. You can see him if you're streaming with us. You can see him on the screen. If you're not, if you're listening, you know what's going on because of music being played. It's the Mac. It's Husker legend Henry T. Buchanan. T, what's up?
What's up, fellas? What's up, Bill? What's it, Elijah?
Look, I'm a very observant person. I always see things. I can tell it's hot, and I've been in Arizona when it's hot because typically T might have the blinds open hanging out, but I know down there it's so hot right now the blinds stay closed so the house stays cool.
Oh yeah, it's hot. Yeah, I had the blinds open. I thought I could open it during the show, but it was too bright, so I had to shut the shades in my Husker room. And I just called my pops trying to tell him to come here and say hi to y'all. He's in the back room.
What up, man? We got to meet Pops.
Oh yeah. I just called him. He just ignored my call.
That's because he's trying to find out how to get cool. He's in the pool.
Yeah, he's been relaxing. Took me to the casino and that $100 left pretty quick. And I said, well, I'll give you the next 100. And he made $3 off that 100.
What's the game of choice? Are you slots, blackjack?
No, I don't gamble. It's my pops. He does the slot machines. He loves them. But we went to a brand new casino. It's only been around for about a year. Gila River out here, not too far from my house, off of Gilbert Road and Riggs, and it's really nice, really brand new. He said, "God, these machines are too new." So I'm gonna probably take him somewhere this afternoon once the casinos has been around and machines been kind of used a little bit, and he couldn't find the machines that he liked. So he was just we went to about 3 or 4 machines.
You gotta take him up the old talking stick.
Yeah, I might do that. Yeah, either talking stick, wild horse. I normally taking the Lone Butte, which is right up the street from me, but I'll have him up here.
That is awesome.
Yeah. He leaves tomorrow though, and my little sis and her boyfriend. So we've been having a pretty good week. Kind of chilled, watching a lot of sports. I got him watching everything. The College World Series, hockey. He's been watching a little bit of all the WNBA. We watched that Clayton Clark and Angel Reese game, and he was all into it.
Yeah, that's good stuff. We're going to talk a ton of hoops here coming up with you, T. But I want to ask you, I've been watching this NBA free agency popping on real quick, and the blockbuster trade yesterday with Bridges and all. Like, give me your thought when you're like watching these teams like go back and forth, and you see these max contracts. Because I'm going, that guy got a max contract. That guy, like, it's like Oprah giving out free crap. Like, you get a max, you get a max.
Well, I tell you what, I think Bridges teaming up with a couple of his teammates, they're going to have 4 Villanova players on that.
Yep.
It's become the Villanova of the NBA. So that's I think, with those 3 guys playing together, but I think it's different than, playing in the NBA than it is, in college, of course, because you're playing at a whole different, level and stage of basketball. And but I think that's a big pickup for them. Because that might be just the pieces that they need, to be able to compete. Because one thing, hey, hold up, here's Pops right here. Hey, Pops, come say hi to the fellas. Yeah.
Look at this. We'll get to meet him for the first time.
Yeah. Come, yeah, you guys bend down a little bit, Pops.
Good morning.
Oh, you gotta come around. Come this way. Oh, no. You was right. But
I love this. I love it. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Buchanan, how are you, sir?
Hey, I'm feeling fine. Out of Indiana for a little bit.
Nice. Well, I hope he's treating you well. He said he gave you $100. You made $3. We got to do better than that.
I've been busted over 100 right quick.
Tell me, how are you enjoying that Arizona heat down there in the desert?
Well, it's hotter than Indiana. I don't know. About the same, probably.
Okay.
But the humidities in Indiana, they're pretty hot. My sister, I was talking to my sister, and she was complaining about the heat and got her air conditioner on 60 or something like that. And my little niece comes to see her. She has to sit on the porch in the heat because it's too cold in the house. So, but that's how they do it in Indiana. I got my air on like 78, 79, 80.
Yeah, man, because it doesn't keep up. Like out here, when I got back yesterday or Monday, we had it set at 70. It was running like 75 because it couldn't keep up. Yep. It was so hot.
Yeah. So no, he's enjoying. He's just kicking back, and like I said, he watches the Indiana Fever. He knows all about Caitlin Clark. We got a chance to watch that game, and he was pretty fired up about that and that baseball game. And then what did we watch the other day? And you were we was watching a little track and field as well. Some of the Olympic trials.
That's awesome. I got to ask your pops, like when you heard that T was going to go to Nebraska, what was your first thought? Because when I told my family back in North Carolina I was going to marry a woman from Nebraska, they thought I was damn crazy.
Well, he was in Hutchinson, Kansas, then, so I didn't know much about Nebraska. So I didn't have no thoughts on it.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
It's funny. It's always interesting whenever, we on our show in the afternoons talk to recruits across America, what they think of Nebraska, cows and corn. I didn't know they had a city like Lincoln there. And then same with College World Series broadcasts as well on ESPN, where people see downtown Omaha and I say, that's in Nebraska? So, yeah, it's always interesting to get the national perspective of Nebraska. It's more than cows and cornfields.
The only thing I knew about Nebraska growing up was the Nebraska football, and I remember them playing Oklahoma, that rival, and that was nationwide. So I knew a little bit about Nebraska, and heck, and I was actually rooting for Oklahoma against Nebraska back in the day because I liked their running backs back then, and so coming to Nebraska was really, I wouldn't say it was a no-brainer, but playing, coming there with my teammate Derek Vick and Coach Bargan, it was a kind of no-brainer for us, and playing in the Big 8. I didn't know nothing about Kansas and Oklahoma, Oklahoma football, so I didn't know about that tradition. I grew up in the Big 10 concert. It was Michigan, IU, and Purdue, and all those guys, and then watching Notre Dame. So I didn't know much in Kentucky. I didn't know much about the Big 8 at the time. So, but glad I made the move. I'm a big time Big 8 teams anyway, wherever they're at, whether it's SEC, Pac-12, or the Big 12. So.
Again, we're speaking of Husker legend Henry T. Buchanan, and his pops is hanging out with us too. T, I know you follow everything, my man, and give me your thoughts, because we got a couple of guys playing some international basketball right now. You got Berkey and you got Connor Season out there playing some hoops against some pretty decent competition. Talk about those two, Jim, and what they're doing and how that can help them as they make the transition to come to Nebraska and play for Coach Fred Hoiberg?
Well, I think it's easy. First and foremost, don't fool yourself when you're playing college basketball. You're watching other teams across the country, especially the ones who's getting a little coverage. And Coach Hoiberg, made some noise last year in the Big Ten, also making a tournament. Unfortunately, we came across a bus, saw it in Texas A&M. But these kids, they watch the style, and who doesn't know Coach Hoiberg? Number one, his name has been around not only as a player but as a coach. Beginning there at Iowa State and getting the chance to coach at the Bulls, and everybody knowing that this guy is a basketball genius and is going to really teach you the game. And I'm not taking anything away from the coaches that they've played for, but I would tell you this, just the system that Coach Hoiberg that runs and getting everybody involved and the facilities. And I tell you what, playing in this era, I wouldn't want to play for another school other than Nebraska. And I think these teams is going to start picking up on that and the system that he runs and how well the program is ran. So these kids know what they're doing, and they want to win, and some of them wants to get to the next level. And talking about the academics as well, that's another thing that Nebraska takes pride in. And speaking of, let's give props to Sam and Jeffrey Grace being the academic scholars that they are for the conference. And so that's what Nebraska brings to the table, which a lot of other schools can't say that, and we still have we're still number one in the country as far as academic All-Americans in the history of academics, and that's counting the Ivy League schools and all your big-time schools academic-wise. So, there's a lot of attraction that comes with Nebraska. So I think these kids that are coming here, and the style of play, being able to shoot the ball freely, the up-tempo and defensively, I mean, this is a great system to play even defense in if you enjoy playing defense. And if you can't play defense, you're not playing for Coach Hoiberg. So
I'm going to ask that. Isn't that interesting? Because the fact that when Fred got here, we weren't talking about defense, right? Yeah. His system was not his system. Obviously, there's systems out there where just give me a little bit of defense because we're going to light the totem pole up, right? We're going to light the board up.
The NBA style of, we're going to spread the floor. We're going to shoot the three. We're going to put up 100 points on you. Not quite what it's ended up being at Nebraska. And I think that's a credit to Fred for having to change what he was doing from a coaching perspective, from a roster construction perspective, from a staff perspective, and understanding, hey, what our vision was coming into the Big Ten. Dare I say, having the Big Ten adjust to them. You realized you were a little bit wrong there. So you flipped it up, and I think that's a big credit to Hoiberg and his staff.
Absolutely.
Well, and the players that he's recruited as well as buying in to his system defensively, and that makes a big difference as well.
That's I want to ask you that because obviously there's been change. And I think Fred would probably tell you that he's grown as a coach with some of these in the recruiting in the Big Ten and just learning the whole process. Was there ever a moment when you played at Nebraska that there might have been an injury or a funk where you guys had to change the style just a little bit, like with the pieces that you had?
Well, definitely, especially, speaking of injuries, my senior year, I got hurt and missed 3 games. And, we had to bring in a freshman, Clifford Scales had to come in. And we did have to adjust the way we approached the game, not only offensively, but defensively as well, because I was more of an on-ball defender, and I always took the assignment of the toughest guard on the other side, whether they were a 2-guard, digger, or what have you, and I would chase them around. And Clifford Scales was a different type player. So defensively, our concept had to change a little bit, and we played more of a zone, pressure zone. I mean, we had a zone we called the red, and Coach Nee would grab his tie and shake it, and we knew what to do at that point. And that means the point guard would put pressure on the ball, and we had EJ would play behind me, or Clifford at this time, and he would chase the ball and with EJ's long arms, and we created havoc up in the front and made it tough to move the ball. And so we always make adjustments based on the players that you have. We didn't have the athletic, outside of D. Vic and a couple. We had Richard Van Pogies and Rich Keene. And I'm talking my senior year, and Rich Keene and Jeff Reckaway. So we weren't as athletic as we were when we had a Bernard Day and Anthony Bayless the prior year. So yes, for defensive wise, even though we wanted an up-tempo type offense, but then again, we had to transition back on defense, and sometimes we found ourselves, trying to find our man. But we always, when you play at that level, the coaches are going to bring all type of packages, whether it's zones, man-to-man, matchup zones, you name it. We have it all, and it's going to be based on what the opponents is throwing at us, and we just make adjustments.
What are the qualities in your mind that make a good defender? What does somebody need to add to their game? Say they're showing up at Nebraska, not a great defender. You hear some people say it's 90% effort playing defense. Do you think that's true, or what skills does somebody need to work on in order to become a better defender?
Well, it's not only effort; it's heart. It's one thing about defense. It's you gotta want to play defense. Everybody wants to play offense, but you gotta want to play defense. And if you don't want to play defense, no matter what the coach does and what he teaches you and what type of principles that he try to instill in you, but you got to have it within yourself, and you want to challenge yourself because no matter what, the offensive players always has the advantage on the defensive player. They always one step ahead because we're guessing what they're going to do, and they know what they're going to do. So, and that's what's so important about film study. Scout teams, when you talk about a program, everybody gets involved, your scouting reports. So then you try to coach that and you practice that on a day-to-day basis. And then it's the individual mindset, your mindset. I'm going to stop that guy that I'm guarding, especially in the man-to-man. In zone, anybody in your area, you're going to take care of your business. You're going to all your defensive principles to help defense. So it's more of it's not can do, but it's what you want to do. And that's in any young kid in the days basketball. And I don't see that as much as you did back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s and 2000s, where defense was more of a, defense wins championships. Now we try to outscore, but we're getting back to that. You look at the Celtics, look at the Florida Panthers last night. Defense wins championships, and that's what it's all about. And that's in any sport, football, basketball, baseball, you name it. If you're not stopping anyone, you're not winning.
T, also, I want to ask you this because I think this is an important piece in Nebraska hoops this year will be point guard play.
You good unless you want to stay. Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, I see you hurt your back.
These 86 years of getting
me. You see this comment real quick, Tim? I asked you this question. It said, Pops, T used to go watch your son play with my pops. Always loved the passion Henry played with. Must have had a great dad.
Take it as a compliment.
Oh yeah, hey Pops, I tell you a story. When I was a kid, my pops and my uncle used to play in what was that, an industrial league or something like that in Indianapolis.
Chain gang.
Yeah, they were called a chain gang, and my uncle, we just talked about this the other night. My uncle loved to shoot the ball, and he would get an offensive rebound under the basket. But instead of putting it up, he would always dribble back and shoot it. He loved shooting a fadeaway. Shot it at about 10%. But he loved to do that beautiful shot. But my pops, always watched my pops. He wasn't as skilled offensively as my uncle, but from a defensive side of the game and hustle and rebounding, I always watched him. So I developed on the defensive end growing up in hustle before I developed my offensive skills. So I learned a lot from my pop from that side of the game, and I'm not going to admit that I admitted my shooting came from my uncle, but he loved to shoot the ball, and he could shoot it, but he just made bad decisions. But I did learn a lot from my pops, watching him growing up, and that discipline, and I could tell you stories and stories about my pops, man, and growing up, and that's why I'm here today.
That's awesome. Definitely special, my man. But for sure, I want to ask you about point guard play because this year it's unique for Nebraska because I think we're finally going to have a couple of true point guards, true veteran point guards there. And being without, Mast, who's arguably your best passer last year. Talk about when you were playing your point guard and how much that meant to have a legit guard that has court vision, that can set the tone and find guys like yourself to shoot the rock.
Oh, Brian Carr. I mean,
Yep.
I talk about him all the time. He's not. I mean, I ain't gonna say it's not even close. With Jack Moore was special in his own right, and Tyronn Lue, who really was more of a scoring guard at the time. But when you talk about a pure point guard, Brian Carr was John Stockton before John Stockton.
Mm-hmm.
This guy ran the floor. He ran. I mean, his passing skills was second to none. No, he would have had the Big 8 assist record if it wasn't for Kansas going to more, of course, playing in the postseason and every year that Cedric Hunter played at KU. But he was second. He finished second. But it was a joy playing with a guard that was able to run the show, know your game, know when to get you the ball. He was a coach on the floor. And, and I had a little bit of that in me myself, coming from Hutchinson, Kansas. I left there. I was the all-time assist leader at Hutchinson, Kansas. So I was supposed to be the point guard, heir apparent of Brian Carr, but until they realized I could shoot the ball. And so I became a combo guard. And then my senior year, I got a chance to play in the backcourt with EJ, Eric Johnson, Ben Johnson's little brother, who was a different type player than Brian. He was more of a control, strong defensive player, but he was a great passer, and and we learned each other's games, and EJ was able to find me when I needed it, and when he knew I was feeling it, he would get me the ball. So, and that's important. And not only that, point guards at any level, you not only need to know the position and the plays for every position on the court, you also got to know the strengths of your teammates. You got to know when to get them the ball and how to motivate them and how to D. Vick and them will tell you right now, there was times in games if Vick would miss a layup, I would just flat out tell him, man, I'm not giving you the ball again, man, if you don't finish. I mean, I was that type of point guard. When I ran the guard, even though Danny Nee wanted me to be the point guard for 2 years, he actually wanted to switch Brian Carr as a two guard, and he wanted EJ to run the two guard, me to run the point. But it just didn't work out that way. But we played so well together. So and we had some big wins, and winning 21 games in a season at the collegiate level, at the Division I level, in a conference like that. That says a lot about the talent that we had around us, and the point guard was the integral part of that.
Henry T. Buchanan with us here on the Morning Hookup. And T, I want to flip things over to the NBA because you're talking about a point guard, a guy in the NBA, a point guard who just got himself a new weapon to maybe distribute it to. That's Jalen Brunson, the Knicks. We hit on this early. I want to dive a little bit further into what the Knicks just pulled off. A boatload of first-round picks in exchange for Mikal Bridges, but they get the 4 Villanova guys back together. Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, Mikal Bridges, and Jalen Brunson now playing together in New York. 4 guys that I think fit Thibodeau's system pretty well in terms of the running and the defense. I think I saw a stat yesterday that Mikal Bridges has not missed a game since high school, and is the type of guy that can put up 40-plus minutes in a game, which is just 2 ridiculous stats. He somehow managed to play 83 games 2 seasons ago in the NBA. But all that aside, what is your reaction to that trade, and does it make the Knicks a contender? Because they gave up the type of draft capital that you would think that they think they're going to be a contender after this deal.
I think that was more of a win now type of pick. I think they brought Mikal Bridges. They brought him out not as another offensive weapon, but more he's going to be that utility guy. He's going to be the defensive stopper, get the loose ball, he rebounds. He's not, he doesn't have the girth as some of the forwards that they have, the big guards that they have, but golly, this guy can defend and he can run the floor and things. And so he's going to be that guy that missing, because they don't need another scorer, because Brunson them picked up a lot of scoring. Sometimes I think he shoot too much, and you got to think about the big kid that they didn't have in the playoffs. That was their leading scorer, the other Kentucky guy. But it's going to be important for them. I just think Indiana, I'm sorry, but speaking of my team, Indiana, they better watch out for them when Halliburton comes back healthy. But to compete with Boston, I don't know if that's the missing piece for them, because I think Boston is just the Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum combo, man. It's just and I tell you, the key to that, Drew Holiday. I mean, it's it's going to be tough to compete with that team. And I just don't know if Mikal Bridges is the missing link for the Knicks. I think they're going to be where they were at this year, which I thought they played well. And I think Brunson is going to get better and better each year. And you can't leave out the, hell, they talking about Philly maybe picking up Paul George. If that happens, the East, the power conferences are shifting. And with the free agency, and I'm a little worried. I was listening to this morning on ESPN, and I'm worried about they're talking about Booker or Durant leaving Suns, and I was planning on getting to some Suns game because Derek Chandler was in town a couple of weeks, DC, a good friend of mine, former Husker big guy, and he grew up with Kevin Durant, and he promised D Vick and them when we need tickets to the game. Just call him and KD will hook us up. So I'm worried about him leaving now. I'm like, hold up, man. But there, hey, it's going to be a lot of changes this year, just like it is in the transfer portal. You're going to see different players on different teams, and it's expected. Just like college is getting out of control. NBA, we're used to it. You're used to it, but college is getting out of control. And when it comes to the transfer portal, but hey, it's win now, and trying to find it, just like the draft tonight. The only player I know that's getting drafted tonight is Bronny.
Yeah.
Think about that. I don't want to say it's disappointing, but golly, we're just losing those players that you can follow each and every year. That when the NBA draft, who your lottery picks are going to be. Who's going to get the first pick and teams, and you're getting prepared. They showed the first 15 players, and most of them for Europeans. And other than the big kid from Connecticut, the guard out of Kentucky, the other kid out of Connecticut, other than those three, and maybe a couple others that's sprinkled in there, I really not going to know who's coming in there. So I'm a little worried about that. But for you Knicks fans, I think it's a good pickup, man. But I don't think it's going to put them over the hump.
T, I want to ask you real quick. I know we all love golf. We like to watch, and Scotty Scheffler having a phenomenal season, $28 million.
Was it 6-7 wins now?
Yeah, 6 wins. If you go back, look, there's some pretty good stats through the first 15 tournaments he's played in with Tiger right now. But I want to ask you this. Obviously, come out of the U.S. Open, he didn't get it done there, but Bryson DeChambeau wins it. And now, are you – because I have not watched one swing of a live golf tournament. Not one.
I have not.
Do it.
I can't do it. For some reason, and don't get me wrong, and I'll be flipping, I'll be channel surfing, and I'll see a live tournament on it, and I can't stop.
Nope.
I'm stuck, and I'm not, and I don't even hate those players. I'm PGA only, and that's just me, and I can't watch it, and so I don't even know. I just know of the players who used to be in the PGA that's playing in it, but I don't follow it at all. But Scotty Scheffler, I mean, God, about as close as the Tiger that we've seen in a, first we didn't think we were going to see another Jack, and then here comes Tiger. And I didn't think we were going to see another Tiger, and here's Scotty. This dude is phenomenal, and this is after his arrest, mugshot, and I mean, he's coming back like gangbusters, man. You can almost bet on him against the field almost any tournament now, and throughout the year, you're gonna win some money. I mean, that's how great this guy is. Unless he gets hurt in some funky injury, back or something like that, he's going to be here to stay for a long time. And hopefully, I'm not going to hope for the live to dissolve or anything, but I still like to see the best of the best all in one tour and competing, because I think Scotty is his head's above heel over the PGA players. But they still got some live players, like you said, DeChambeau and Brooks and all those guys that we don't get to see no more other than major tournaments. I just don't know how well they're doing, because I don't even look at the results, to be honest. I'm not even hating on them, but I don't pay much attention to live golf.
Not at all. So, but one more. Speaking of being great, You know you're great when the PGA Tour does this for you. Tiger Woods, see this story? No. He received it's called the Exceptional Lifetime Achievement. He received exemption for every signature event in the PGA Tour.
I did see that.
For his life.
Wow.
I did see that.
And you guys know those are the ones where there's no cut.
Yeah.
He received a lifetime exemption to all signature events.
He deserves it, probably.
He absolutely does. He does. Because, regardless of the results, but everybody still wants to see Tiger. And we're still just hoping for that outside chance, that slimmer of a chance that he can compete and win in a tournament, especially a major. Of course, catching Jack is out the question. And,
that gone.
We can let that go. But for him to win another major down the road, I just don't know if he can ever get healthy enough to get to that point. But still, you still want to see Tiger. You still want to see that swing. You still want to see him play. And you still want to see that intrigue. And that's what golf is all about. And I tell you what, I know we haven't talked since the Open, but McIlroy, I've never seen a golfer melt down like that. I mean, when they were showing him when he made that putt and when he just got up and walked out, and then he decided to skip the post interview, and then he's taking a week or two off to get his mind right. I hope he comes back, strong. I mean, that was I just never seen
brutal.
Yeah, I seen Greg Norman melt down, big time tournament and never recover. But this was different because I never seen a golfer that hurt. But I guess when you miss 3 out of 4 holes, you miss those putts like he did or whatever it is. I get it, man. But I just hope he can recover. I just never seen that before from a professional golfer, and I hope he's able to recover. Go ahead.
I haven't seen somebody melt down like that since Rory back in 2011 at the Masters.
Yep.
Also, he did come back from that. But
it's been 10 years since he's won a major, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this was different. That look on his face.
It told you everything you need to know.
Oh my goodness! I felt sorry for him. I mean, I wasn't a fan of Rory, because I thought he was too arrogant when he was winning back then. And but he's grown on me since, and now I've been kind of rooting for him to win, and golly, that hurt. But as an athlete, some wins, some losses are different than others, and some of them hit different, especially those games you should have won. And I think this is one that he let get away, and I mean, a couple of those putts, I couldn't. I was ouch,
Yes.
And, and I'm on this group text with Morgan Gregory and them, and these guys even got me doing it. When somebody kind of miss a putt or something like that, they always make a comment in the text that he just took a big crap on himself. A big move. He just, you get these texts and stuff, man, and I just kind of felt sorry for the guy.
It's crazy.
I hope he can recover, man, and I'm looking forward to the next tournament. I'm just going to keep following Scotty, man, and just seeing how he's only getting better. So just see if somebody can catch him.
Yeah. Well, T-Man, we appreciate you, my friend. Tell Pops we said hi again, and take care of yourself. Take care of him. And we'll catch you soon, brother.
All right, Bill. All right, Elijah. And hey, real quick, D-Vic made it back, and he did lose his brother, so I want to give him a
shout out, man. We're thinking about him. We're thinking about him.
He's hanging in there. He came to the house last night, so he's still hanging.
Good. Well, tell him we're thinking about him, man.
All right, fellas. Y'all take care.
All right, T. Take care of yourself. Henry T. Buchanan right there. We are out of time, like way out of time at this point. But we appreciate T. Appreciate you guys. Have a great hump day. We'll catch you on a Thursday. Like we out of time.
Yeah, I got some work to do here.
My bad.
I'm a pro.
You're a pro. You got this.
I'm a pro.
You got this.
I'm a pro.
I was just looking. I was just looking. I was going to bring up I found this somewhere. This It's a Live Golf versus PGA Tour combined money list. Which kind of cool. Obviously, those guys that went to Live made a lot of money up front, but they also wanted to go win more money playing golf. Here's the way it pans out. If you're looking at just pure golf money, obviously Scotty, he's 28 million. He's good. Xander Schauffele's made 12.
Okay,
that's 2 PGA guys, right?
Yep.
The next 2 are Live guys, Neiman and DeChambeau at 12 and 11. Then you throw in 2 more PGA guys. So the top 5 have 3 PGA guys making the most money just playing golf, with Rory McIlroy in 5th and Wyndham Clark in 6th.
That being said, though, I mean, you have, like, Bryson's making like what, 100 million?
Yeah, that money up front was the kicker for those guys.
I mean, I and also with the way that the Saudis would like to whitewash golf, if you will.
Yeah.
Trying to, I guess, put a clean sheet over their regime as a whole.
Yep.
It's a loss they're willing to take on.
Oh, for sure.
On that upfront money, try to build the brand up.
Mm-hmm.
You're willing to take that loss up front and then hopefully recuperate it on the back end. And even if you don't, you're okay because that family has a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah, I wonder, and I know it's there's a lot of money. I just wonder how much a guy like John Rahm is going, damn, because he has been hurt, playing terrible golf. You'd think someday, like, maybe it just wasn't worth it. Ryan A4, I have no idea. He said, where's Ernest? I have no idea. And I said, thanks for filling in lately. Elijah, solid work. Nice to have you on the best radio show on air.
It's been fun.
Yeah, man.
It's been, because there was that week 3 weeks ago now where I was in here for Will, and now again. It's been a lot of time in here.
Yeah, man. Part of the fam now.
Fun little hour.
Part of the fam.
I feel like I've been a part of the fam ever since I got the moniker Sticky Fingers.
Yeah, when you stole the jersey from the Salt Dogs, and I got blamed for it.
It was a mistake.
I'm like, I wasn't wearing that number.
The dugout had been filled. I've gone through this story plenty of times.
I set it up, by the way, real quick. We were at the Salt Dogs playing celebrity softball.
Yep.
Jerseys are laid out. They're hanging up. You go pick a jersey. You get to wear a Salt Dogs jersey for the event. And done. And then all of a sudden, I'm getting calls like, Hooks, where'd you steal that jersey from? Put the jersey back. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Well, you were wearing that number because I was
wearing the number. I just know I put it back. That's right.
Because we had like finished up with the game and whatnot, and we're getting out of there. And I went to go see my family, and they're like, oh, go get your jersey back so we can take a picture. Okay, so I run back down to the dugout, grab the first jersey I see, which is apparently yours. Smelled awful.
Yeah, it's terrible. That's because I was working hard.
Yeah, working harder than me. Throw the jersey on, grab a picture, go back to the dugout to put the jersey away. And the dugout has been filled up with Salt Dogs team members going through their pregame routine and whatnot, figuring things out. And I go,
I don't know what to do.
Okay. I guess I'm just going to hold on to this jersey and see if anyone notices. And they noticed.
They were studio calling, like calling my cell phone. I'm like, I put it back.
Yeah, no, they noticed. Well, and I got it. We got it back to them within like 24 hours.
Yeah, it was
to be clear.
I think, honestly, Charlie Meyer called me. I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah. We got to figure it out, though.
It's all good.
It's a misunderstanding. Simple misunderstanding.
Grace, I don't forget Will's name.
From that point forward, I was Sticky Fingers.
Sticky Fingers.
Which is
I didn't mean to do that.
Probably a fitting.
I did not mean to do that.
Don't forget Will's name tag.
Yeah, don't forget Will. I'm pushing buttons. You guys, we're gonna get out of here.
Where is because we have this. I'm sure you see this CBS News thing.
Yeah, I don't know what he's got going on over there.
I don't know where that came from, but his name tag is missing.
It's been missing.
It's probably under the soundboard.
We got yelled at.
It's
probably talking about a name tag.
Probably under the soundboard somewhere, if I'm being honest.
You guys have a great hump day. Elijah and I will catch you tomorrow. Ask Elijah anything tomorrow. We're going to put you on the spot tomorrow, so get your questions ready.
Great.
See you guys. Take care.